We've got our hands full here. It's time once again for BT's Pet Project, where we meet some of the Calgary Humane Society's adorable adoptables, and we have some very, very adorable adoptables here. So a couple of kittens who have calmed down. I want to show a picture that one of our producers just posted on Instagram of one of the kittens climbing. We're calling him Mount Randy. So these cats are pretty active, and just to give you a hint, Randy is over 6 feet tall.
They're not afraid of heights. So you got that going for him.
All right. So who do we have here this morning?
So the one that was climbing Randy is Sam. This is the fellow right here. So Sam is the male, and then Liesel is the little tortie that you're holding. Both of them 3 months old, and they were found stray. We don't know where the mother is or was, but they were found just on the outside of the city in a boat that had been dry docked.
Aww.
And so luckily a finder had found them and brought them into us. And so they're not on the streets anymore and just looking for a good home. Okay, looking for good hands this morning. Do you think that they prefer to stay together, or is it okay to split them up? You know what, that's a really good question, because right now they do, when they're separated, they whine a little bit. But with kittens, we don't mind separating them. They are resilient. They will be okay on their own. But if somebody wants to adopt both, more power to them.
Okay, it doesn't get cuter than that. I'm pretty sure we'll find these two a home by the end of the show, I'm sure. Okay, and you have some others as well that you can, well, you can't bring everybody here.
Exactly, and you know what? Some of these guys are perfect to profile here because they don't like traveling. So that's Jezebel, and as you can see, she had an eye enucleation. So she had an eye removed because she had some pretty nasty stuff going on there, cataract, glaucoma, and a detached retina. So luckily, our wonderful vet staff were able to remove that, and she's no longer in pain. So she's 2 years old, a little bit shy, but an awesome cat.
And so sweet and chatty with the vets.
Yeah, so when the vets were working with her, they noted just how chatty she was, and once she got to know the vet, she was doing a lot of head bumps.
Okay, let's meet Kitty. Who's Kitty?
Kitty. So Kitty is 3 years old. I love just how big and huge her head is. So Kitty is 3 years old. She was in foster for quite a while, recovering from URV. It's the most common illness that we'll see with cats in the shelter. It's upper respiratory virus, just the common cold. But in the foster home, she was awesome, always used her litter box. She was very comfortable around the house. Super independent though, but still very sweet, and loved to come around and do a little kitty yoga, a lot of stretches, and getting her bum scratched. So a very friendly cat, to be sure.
The truth is in the details, isn't it?
Exactly. And a patient paw cat, so she has a reduced adoption fee.
You got it. And how about these two?
My two buddies.
Sweet faces.
Oh, they're so great, and my goodness, you couldn't ask for two opposite dogs. So that is Otis and Turkish. Turkish is the dog on the left. He's a little dachshund Jack cross. He's 6 years old. And Otis, to the right, he's a 3-year-old Mastiff. Now, these two guys, they received them from the owner together, but they do have some pretty significant behavior issues that are very diverse. I've worked with these guys before. Otis, on the right, is dog reactive, and Turkish is touch sensitive. So when you're walking around these two guys, everybody wants to touch Turkish, but he's nervous around people. And if you're walking them and Otis sees a dog, he's going to take you for a run.
Okay.
And so we are saying that we are looking for separate homes for these guys, just because they do have very different issues, and we want to set the owner up for success.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so flagged those couple of things, but still worthy of a great home. How about Rango?
This is the first chameleon that I've ever had in the shelter. I've been there for about 7 years. Super interesting species. Now, these guys are an exotic reptile. When we look for an adopter for these guys, we're looking for a super experienced reptile owner who knows what they're getting into. These guys have really high requirements. They need to have a really high humidity enclosure, and they can be a real handful. And so you need to know what you're getting into with Rango and any of the exotics that we have at the shelter. But my goodness, what an interesting creature.
Absolutely. Okay, and all of these creatures are up for adoption. We're going to put the links up on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. Really quickly, you've got an event coming up.
Yeah, our Cat-tastic Potty on August 22nd. It's our annual adoption event, and it can't come soon enough. We just came off of a really successful adoption event in July, where we adopted a record amount of animals, 530 animals in July, and we're full again.
Okay.
We've got a lot of animals, and so if you want to come down, August 22nd, we'll have reduced adoption fees, a lot of family fun. We're going to have cotton candy and popcorn, bouncy castles. And so if you've got kids or if you just want to come around and get a free hot dog or ice cream, please come on down. We're also doing tours of the shelter as well, so you can come and see what we're all about.
Terrific. We've seen lots of great support from Calgarians. We do love our pets.